Hey, welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's your boy Marvin. Gonna be moving on to a video which is if p-diddy goes to prison, expect these people to go with him. This is by the lady who does Celeb Lounge. She's pretty good and has been going for quite a while, but it's interesting to see what she has to say as well, so we can dissect it as we go. I'm not going to go through the whole video, but I'm just going to pick out bits and bobs. So let's just start the first couple of minutes.
Lineup?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
District of New York has a 98.2 conviction rate. For those who don't know, if you got 100 people, only 1.8 has won against them. So now, with the sex trafficking, it only takes one witness to convince the jury. And we know who that witness is going to be, Cass. So now, it's not only the sex trafficking, it's the guns, drugs. So I don't understand why this ever even got to this point, but it is what it is. You hear what he said? That they're going to go through everything that he did with a fine-tooth comb. And they give what they call discovery to his lawyers. He either say, I'm going to take the time, because if he go to court with it, he going to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Man, oh man, it's looking like Jay-Z might face some jail time because Diddy's revealed that he's involved with the man. Now, despite denying his involvement, Jay-Z's reportedly assembling a strong legal team.
Society with Jay-Z, man, he's involved, but he's involved with this shit, man. He involved with that play shit. Like, see, people don't understand the science behind Satan, Lucifer, and God. And if you notice, he calls himself Jehovah or Hove.
I got raped when I was 11, Twist. And I loved it. I ain't never pressed charges. I'ma do you like baby them did me. Yeah. I'll never forget that day.
You know, I'm gonna tell y'all that too, man. Y'all up and coming rappers. Y'all make it to Hollywood, y'all get invited to these parties and all that. Don't be curious, bro. Don't be opening doors.
Don't open them. Cat Williams told you, don't open them doors.
Bro, we opened the door and we saw it. You know what I'm saying? We saw a whole lot of
Real messed up. I think there's a lot of famous artists who are coming out and trying to give us messages to understand their wording or what they're saying. This is very, very powerful stuff at the end of the day. And it's also got a bit of an underworld celebrity status as well, which is very, very, very dangerous.
You know.
And it was people that you were familiar with.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never fucking expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited as a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit.
Huh, almost like he guilty of something. Who knew? Now, Diddy's reported to be trying to cut a deal with the feds by mentioning Jay-Z's involvement with the whole Corey tragedy.
Let it out. Jay-Z gave Corey a ring, allegedly. Right? You see it right there on her hand. She can't afford that damn ring. That's a massive ring. Jay had given it to her. Right? Allegedly. And all of a sudden, after she's deceased and dead and gone, that ring is on Beyonce's finger. When she died, that ring wasn't found. Is J and B's involvement in the Corey tragedy. Now, everybody's been talking about this recently because the lady that was supposed to conduct the interview with this lady, who's known as Kathy White in the news, she died from a brain aneurysm right before her interview, right? Now, here's the big thing that nobody really knows. How she met Jay, everything is in this video. This video is only on the Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, you get to see this.
Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough?
Real life.
Have you ever heard the saying BMV? Well, in property, that means below market value.
Just move on a little bit.
Album listening parties at Mr. Combs' home in Los Angeles, California. These parties were sponsored by defendants Mr. LR, which I don't know who that is, and UMG, which is Universal Music Group. As evidence above, the parties had ex-workers, I can't say the word, and underage girls present. During these parties, defendant Granish knew or should have known Mr. Combs was drugging the attendees through laced bottles of Delon tequila and Ciroc vodka. He was using his own shit. Baby, this is bad. Oh, baby, I found tea at the bottom. So if you read this little note at the bottom, it will tell you why UNG removed their music from TikTok and who is actually to blame. I just want to throw that. Baby, there are more pages you can pause to read, but basically it's that this man knew about all the parties. This man was around all of this. This man never stopped anything. This man nor Christina nor Ethiopia had stopped anything that was happening. They let Diddy run wild. And that's why they are being mentioned in this lawsuit. And I guess this is why people are not making it bigger than social media, because I have not really seen this lawsuit in mainstream media like Fox, like CNN, none of that stuff really. But baby, this is getting bigger.
Who the hell is this? You may have seen him with Justin Bieber or The Weeknd, and you might have even heard his name in the Diddy lawsuit. This is Sir Lucian Grange. He's the CEO and chairman of Universal Music Group and the most powerful man in entertainment. Grange grew up in North London and dropped out of school by 18 and started working as a runner at a talent scout company. He then started hitting up every label executive until the chairman of CBS Records gave him a chance on the A&R team. Over the next 2 decades, Lucian climbed the ranks until 2005, where he became the chairman of Universal's UK division. And by 2011, he was the chairman and CEO of all of Universal Music Group. And since taking over Universal, he's more than quadrupled the value of the company. It's worth about $55 billion right now. Wow. And they also own all the biggest artists. In fact, 70%.
The thing is, these guys are running things from a different level. He's basically one of them who looks in, not going to ever be bought in, probably questioned, and that's it. The bottom line is, people can bring his name, it doesn't concern him. He's just basically someone who knows p-diddy. He can very well say, look, I don't know his private life, what we do is business. And this guy is smart enough to stay out of it at the end of the day, especially him being high profile as well.
Percent of the songs on Billboard are owned by UMG. Lucian is considered the most powerful man in entertainment and was named the executive of the decade in 2020. But now Lucian is being talked about in the Diddy conspiracies, even though he claims he has nothing to do with it. People think if he didn't know about it, that he should have.
Now the mainstream media has been hushed about his involvement with Diddy as revealed in the lawsuit. Now he was last seen attending the City of Hope Gala, which was the last Hollywood event that Diddy attended, which honored hip-hop mogul Leor Cohen. Now he has since denied the allegations and has taken legal action.
I don't really know this guy that well. Take care. He's the CEO of Universal Music. This guy runs the record industry.
And if you could just let us know your name, it'd be great.
Robert Brown. Well,
In a pretty damning interview, Gene Deal reveals that Russell Simmons ain't no innocent either. Now if y'all think Diddy's the master of grooming and using crazy tactics to lure women, Well, you about to meet the person who taught him how to do it.
You could tell the difference between a saint and a sinner. You understand? So him being up in a Diddy party, and it wasn't like that he wasn't partying, because the tape that I saw, he was dancing. And I'm like, wow, this the excuse me, this the Rev at the Diddy party? I wonder who he laying hands on, who he saved. But
wow, that's a different story then. If this geezer was going to these parties, he must know what's going on. That's why he's being roped into it. That's as just dodgy as it comes at the end of the day. You know, a guy like that, he's got to be going for something, and it's not just a business meeting. Wow.
All jokes aside, man, you know, the saints supposed to be separate from the sinners. There's no way that you know what happens in Diddy party and you supposed to be a Christian. You understand? You supposed to be his spiritual advisor, and you up in this party. Why are you there? Because it ain't like he can't come to your church, he can't come to your office. And I know that, you know, you are a part of Revolt. You understand? But are you looking for something else up in there? We just gonna hope that he ain't looking for the same thing Eddie Long was looking for.
Wow. There's so many people sort of getting involved in this now. It's taken to the next level. And I remember this guy was talking about it earlier before even P. Diddy's house got raided, that there were things going on that should be talked about, but no one really took him serious. Now everybody's listening to what he's got to say at the end of the day because everyone thought he was talking rubbish before.
Russell Simmons was doing stuff like that. But Russell Simmons said, I wasn't doing that because I took 7, 8, 9 lie detector tests and I passed them. Yeah, Russell, you also studied your into that Buddhism and that yoga stuff like that, so you know how to control your body to let you know so you don't have any kind of panic mode when you take those tests. Keep it a buck. That's why you got into that Zen You take a lie detector test, it's not going to come up because you know how to control your body.
When Diddy doesn't succeed in manipulation, or when he realized that you caught on, you figured out his tactics, the next thing he does is set you up.
You're not paying me and you're not respecting me. And that's the real problem.
All right.
And that's just the beginning.
All right,
then it's people that try to do bodily harm with me. They will be in the house with Puff. So I'm like, it's a funny game y'all playing behind the scenes. So when people see me, they just see me turned up. They just see me agitated. They just see me aggressive, but they don't know why. So if somebody, let's just say we run down on Gilly car, if we got guns or whatever, where we got them, and we trap Gilly, and then the next week you see Wallow with me at your house, how are you gonna feel?
Yeah, I'm snapping out.
Tweaking, right?
I know what you're thinking. Why would anybody go to jail for attending a party, right? Well, the Diddler's parties are a little bit different. Now, all sorts of crazy and unimaginable things happen at his parties. That's the only kind of party that's got an after party. And sometimes he runs 2 parties in the same mansion. One for the camera and the other one for all of his hidden cameras. He may as well be...
Wow, amazing. It's just mad what comes out. I think a lot of people are going to be roped into this, and you're going to see a lot. If Diddy does go down for this or they convict him of something, I think that he's not going to be alone on this. I just can't see how he's going to put his hands up and say, yeah, it was me, blame me. At the end of the day, look at R. Kelly. R. Kelly mentioned a lot of people when he went down at the end of the day, and it's just going to be the same thing, and people's names are going to come up that we didn't expect. Trust me.
Calling himself the Diddler's Bakery, because everybody walking out of there is leaving with some sticky buns.
Yeah, it was a couple records. I I don't really remember the exact records though.
How did they come about though? Him reaching out to you for you to write for him?
I did that early in my career. When I first signed with Rockefeller. It was a little bidding war. Yeah, I got the call from Puff, and me, him, and Nas was going to do a record together. Then I wound up staying at the studio doing a couple records.
That's news to me, man. So he was trying to sign you to Bad Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's news right there, yo.
I could have been that Bad Boy. I could have been with Rough Riders. Couple spots.
Why didn't you sign a Bad Boy?
I was already committed to Rockefeller. I ain't signed no contract yet, but it was already done.
When you look back in hindsight, do you regret it?
Being signed to Rockefeller?
Yeah.
Hell no. No, I don't regret that at all.
So when you look back at your career, knowing that you could have been a Bad Boy or Rough Rider, you still go back. You would still sign.
You listen to that question you just asked me. Bad Boy or Rough Riders? Maybe Rough Riders. But right now, in hindsight, looking at things, nah.
Right.
Nah.
Nah. I feel you, man. I feel you. But I gotta ask you, man. I gotta ask you this. How you feel about the
Like I just said, people who knew Diddy or went to his parties that were around him or saw him at the studio, and they talk in tongues, and they're hoping that you catch on to things that they're saying which makes sense. I get it because I've looked at the whole profile. I knew p-diddy weren't what we expected him to be, just the man at the top, sweetie clean. He isn't that at the end of the day, and I think a lot of people are exposing people being at the parties, famous people, your Ushers, Kim Kardashian, and many others. The list goes on. What they saw was something that I think blew their head off a little bit. Things going on. The worrying thing is that was mentioned earlier on the video, is that underage, like I said, children being there, or underage adults, which is, completely out of order. This is the main subject people are looking for, and this is why I think people have just gone stump who knew Diddy, or trying to play it down as a little bit of fun, a joke, or it was just a party. I think there's a little bit more than that. More than a couple of people have said that. Even neighbours have said that. They're underage people going into these parties, and what the hell was going on at the end of the day. And I think the police will get to the end of it at the end of the day. That's, with adult parties, get on with it. Do what you got to do, but keep it on the low down. If people were abused, then he should be done for it, or drugged. That's a different story. That's something that's bang out of order, because people aren't in control of what they're doing.
Situation Diddy going through right now?
Man, it's wild. Y'all got that game pause. They stopped saying pause, and there was no Diddy. That's a bad joint. That's bad. Man, no Diddy.
Have you ever been to his parties?
Not one. Not one. Not one. Ever.
Yo, have you heard about him though?
Yeah. Yeah, you hear about them parties? Nah, that wasn't for me. No, sir.
What you hear about him?
Same thing everybody else heard about him.
I used to work 9 to 5, but what made me a millionaire was working a few minutes every day.
That's the end of the video. Wow. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I think people who are talking about it don't want to exploit themselves too much. I think the people who have said something have to be very, very, very careful in what they say or where this can go, because of obviously, if you're gonna chuck Diddy in the deep end, he's gonna take people for him. He's smart, he's clever, he knows what's going on. But it really, really is Pete Tom for a lot of artists, a lot of famous people, and every day things are coming out and more people are gonna get involved at the end of the day. And the more exploitation, the more likely someone is going to end up in prison. It's just as simple as that, because I do think there's foul play there. But hey, we just have to wait and see what the lawyers have to say on both sides. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment, support the boy Marvin, and any information you've got on these topics, and let us know. Leave a message and I'll get back to you. Thank you, wherever you are in the world. Take care.